So we just got done talking about posture and how important it is in the sitting position, the standing position, the lying position, and the lifting position, how all of those positions impact your back and your back pain. Now let's talk about stretching, some things that you can do at home to relieve some pressure in the low back. Stretching is really important to do on a regular basis because a lot of tension can build up back here, and stretching is a great way to improve mobility, restore mobility, and figure out where your limitations are. So let's go over some really good low back stretches.
All right, we're going to cover the child's pose. What I'm going to have you do, you can get on a bench, the floor, or even your bed. And what I'm going to have you do, you're going to put your feet at the end of the bench here, hip distance width apart, and then I'm going to have you go on all fours, and shoulders should be in line with your wrists and your hips in line with your knees. And what I'm going to have you do, you're going to shift all your weight back, so your butt towards your heels. And you're going to tuck that chin and just relax in this position. You should be feeling a good stretch from your low back to your glutes. This stretch is a great generalized stretch for any low back tension. It pulls those muscles apart and allows space in between the joints.
Supine lumbar twist, or the face-up lumbar twist. This is a really good exercise to hit the muscles that live on the outside of the back. So these muscles kind of on the flank right here. What you're going to want to do, lay on the floor, lay on your bed, face up. You're going to bring one leg up to about 90 degrees. So 90 degrees at the hip, 90 degrees at the knee. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bring that knee across your body. And if it's comfortable, let it hang off on the other side. What you can do is take your opposite hand and give it a little bit more, make the stretch a little more intense by pulling that knee down towards the floor. Now you're going to want to hold this for about 10 seconds. Again, you should feel a stretch in the low back. We'll do it on the other side so you can see. You're going to want to feel a stretch right through here. You may even feel it creep into the glutes a little bit. If you're feeling it into the glutes, you might have to stretch this out before you're going to get much of a stretch through here. This is a great generalized stretch to address the rotation component of the low back, which can get really tight as you sit and stand throughout the day.
We're going to go over the knee to chest stretch. This stretch is very good for people that have that low back pain, but also have knee pain. So this is a variation to do if the child's pose is too hard for you. So what you're going to do, you're going to lay down on the floor or in your bed, and you're going to bring your knees to 90 degrees here. And you're going to use both hands and hold right below the knee and bring it to your chest. Good. So where you should feel the stretch is right here in that low back. This really allows you to open up the lower spine and stretch the lower musculature down there.
We're going to go over the hip flexor stretch. Before I do, I'd like to talk to you about the hip flexor itself and how it gets tight. This is the hip flexor. It's also called the psoas muscle, the iliopsoas muscle, and it actually runs from your low back on the front side. This is the front side of your pelvis here. It runs down the front side, behind your stomach, deep in your abdomen, across your femur joint or your hip joint, and attaches right on the femur there. This muscle can get really tight when you sit throughout the day. So if this is the side position, if you're looking at me from the side, when I'm sitting throughout the day, this muscle can actually shorten a little bit and get really tight and pull on the back and pull on those spinal discs and create pain. So what we want to do to counteract that and stretch it out is I'm going to take that femur and I'm going to pull it straight back. And that's actually going to lengthen that muscle throughout its range of motion. So here's what the stretch looks like. What we're going to do, we're going to set our spine down here. And this stretch is as simple as it looks. You're going to want to get in a kneeling position. Carpet's probably the most comfortable here. And you want to get your heel out in front of your knee here so you're not putting any stress on the knee. And what we're going for is a stretch right through here. So that down leg, and I'm going to lean forward here just until I get a comfortable pull right through here. Everybody's going to be a little bit different as to how far forward they can get, and that's totally fine. What we're looking for is just to open up this front side of the hip here. Stretch out, counteract some of that sitting stress that we get throughout the day. You're going to want to do that on both sides. I like to hold it from anywhere between 10 and 30 seconds. Really get in there, stretch it out, and repeat on each side.